All right, we're moving along here. Glass. This is a new one. H2O Go. Angelwax Clarity. So H2O Go is a glass sealant. We're gonna find out. I ran out for the store anyway. I still have some Wolf's glass sealant. This smells, looks pretty much the same. The key thing here for me is going to be wiper reaction to it, as well as how does it fail. You know, the thing I like so much about the Wolf's glass coat is that when it fails, it just gradually kind of wears away. Whereas other glass sealants, when they fail, they just fail. And so, you know, when we talk about glass coatings, I don't think they call this a glass coating. It's just called Ultimate Rain Repellent. These really aren't coatings, they're sealants. You know, so they call it a hydrophobic coating to your windscreen. Windscreen, I like that. To your windshield. So I'm just prepping a little block here just to do the install. But with glass, it's really, 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 really important that you prep it. You can put all the slop, all the stuff you want on it, but if the glass has all kinds of contamination and stuff, it's just not going to take, and it'll last a week if you're lucky, or maybe a couple of months if you're really lucky. Doing it with prep, if you really prepare the glass, get it really clean, really prepared. I've actually polished the glass with just a compound and a microfiber cutting pad, because compounds are easier to deal with than Carpro Siri glass. If you really needed a breakout Siri glass, you know, you're really not doing much correction to glass. You're not going to do much with scratching unless you want to sit there for the rest of your life. You'd be better off just replacing the windshield. But you want to prep it, prepare it, get it ready to go. And so because I'm not worried about any issues of, like with paint, I don't want to spray IPA on it directly if I can help it. But with glass, I'm just going to go straight to really heavy duty IPA wipe down, because I'm doing this after all the polishing. So let me grab some IPA. I found this at Walgreens. It's just 91% isopropyl alcohol and a little spray bottle. How convenient is that? And so I'm going to grab a couple of my glass towels. We're going to go to town, getting all the junk left over from polishing to get this thing prepared. So I want to try to avoid getting it on the paint. I've already coated the cowl, so that's already done. And I'm going to do this a couple of times. Make sure I have this thing prepped and ready to go. So now the glass is extremely clean. We also had some baby shampoo on here from when the window tinter tinted or Martin tinted the windshield. So I want to make sure I get this extra clean and ready to go. And we're going to do 2 coats of H2O Go. My guess is the chemical makeup is pretty much the same as the rest of them. Like I said, there's some subtleties that I really enjoy about the Wolf stuff. Wolf's. For those of you who are enunciation aficionados. So this, you know, again, this prep is probably more important than the darn coating or the sealant. Using some strong IPA to get all the junk off of the windshield surface so it makes a strong, strong bond. That cleaned up really nicely. Okay, so again, I've never done H2O Go, but I suspect the install is going to be the same as any other one. Make sure you're using nitrile rubber gloves, not just Guess what would the other option be? EPDM or whatever. The nitro won't get eaten away by chemicals. Okay. Oh shoot. So we're gonna have to do pipette. I'm always careful with Angelwax. Yeah, it smells like every other glass sealant I've ever used. You don't need one of these blocks. You can cut a piece of microfiber, like an old microfiber towel, and do it that way. I'm sure, I'm guessing. I'm speaking like I know what I'm doing here. So glass sealants I always do in circles. Yeah, same exact stuff as every other one. But we'll see how this one does in comparison. A little subtle chemical makeup difference. Another thing, I think doing 2 coats of this stuff is, I don't know that I'd say imperative, but highly suggested, especially on the windshield. You'll notice the second coat won't make as much noise as this. So the other thing I'm interested in, I'm not too keen on crazy hydrophobics. What I'm more interested in is how the product fails, combined with, I want it to last a reasonable time, but the failure is more important to me. I don't like some of them fail and just start smearing like crazy, like Rain-X is terrible. And then how do my wipers react? You know, I don't want my wipers juddering. So that will determine whether this is acceptable or not. And I'll know pretty quickly. Considering Michelle's not driving this sucker for a while until I get to drive it. It's technically Michelle's car. I want to drive it clean for a little while. I don't like how this bottle doesn't have a little dropper, so I gotta come back over here all the time. Okay, so we'll let that set up and I'll do the sides here. So the same prep. I'll do that side. So interior glass, I never feel the need, don't do anything to that. Just stick with cleaning it with glass cleaner every so often, but don't try to do weird coatings and all this weird crap. Just leave it alone, otherwise you're gonna end up with foggy, funky glass. Same thing with leather. You don't need any leather coatings. What's the point? Don't eat frickin' cheeseburgers in your car. If you do, don't wipe your hands on it and you'll be fine. Right, Ted? Correct. Pretty simple. Stop going to have some napkins. Just don't eat it. So on the side glass, I like to take this off the block and do it by hand. That way I don't get a lot of overlap on my coated trim. It's amazing the difference. You should have seen the glass when I first got the car. It was all spotted up and it's like lime or calcium or just hard water spots all over it. Now it looks, I love clean glass. I guess I like clean everything, but clean glass was even more important. So if this holds up like Wolf's does, don't look at me like that, Ted, then this bottle's gonna last you the rest of your life. I gotta get new pieces here. The divots are driving me crazy. I'll just go for it right here. So since this is the first time I'm doing this, I'll do 2 coats on all of the car. But generally after this, hopefully I'll only need to do 1, like next time I decon the car, I do 2 coats on this, but on the sides, just a single coat. So I'll do the other side windows, come back to you in a minute. This is always such a good feeling to get to this point where I'm doing just the glass to finish up. Let's see how this wipes off. I normally end up using a glass cleaner, but we'll see how this comes off. And I found that glass cleaners don't really affect the sealant. Yeah, this comes off a lot easier than Wolf's. Wolves. Singular though, Wolves. All right. We're gonna put another coat on anyway. So what I usually do is just kind of work my way around the whole car. All right, so we did the sides, the back. By the time I get done, I'm ready to start wiping and reapplying. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wipe the windshield, reapply, and then I'll kind of work my way through the rest and reapply after wiping. So I get a second coat on the whole thing. Yeah, this does come off pretty easily. I like that. But I'll be sure to update you on how we're doing. I guess you'll know if I like it because I'll order a pallet of it and have it here. And the windshield was just done with we did Expel Prime Plus XR, or is it Prime
XR Plus?
Are you sure? Yeah, Prime XR Plus. So notice we don't have any more squeaking like we did earlier. The second coat goes on nice, and I doubt we're really layering it. What we're doing is just making sure if we miss any spots, we're putting that second coat on just to hit that. There's something nice and smooth about doing glass sealants. The glass always stays. It just looks different. I don't see the need for all these, like companies are always calling me about doing their glass coating crap. I'm like, well, can I buy it? Well, no, but it's really good. I said, well, what freaking good does that do me? Like, well, you need to reapply it. Well, that's probably because they're just selling you this same stuff. It's the same stuff as this. They just figured out how to sell it for a lot more money. And I'm usually one for premium, but I'm also not stupid. Well, that's debatable. So the reapplying, they're just giving you another bottle of this stuff to put back on. Again, I think like CarPro Flyby, Forte Flyby is probably a little bit longer lasting. I never liked it because it's just not, it's quite a bit more, I don't know, I just see it more. Maybe it's all in my head. And the wiper action is never as good as it is with just the basic sealant versus what they call a glass coating. What that product is, there's something different about it. Yeah, this wipes off really nicely. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. We'll find out. So this is how we do it. Just work our way around. I'm going to reapply to the side here. And then by the time I get back to the windshield and then I'm ready to wipe the windshield, you get the gist of it. So I'm going to finish this up, grab some lunch, and we'll talk about clarity. We'll load up the washer fluid reservoir, and I'll show you that. And then again, you're not going to get any payoff on this because you're not going to see anything. I'm going to have to come back to you later, show you when I'm washing the car and talk more about longevity, since this is the first time I'm using this particular product. So don't give me that bull crap about, you didn't even show us anything. Well, I don't know the answer yet, and I can't show it to you. I'm not dumping water on my clean car. It shows you nothing.
Pour some APC on it.
Yeah, let me pour some Dawn on there and show you how it lasts. I'm not doing that. I'm not an idiot. And I know you're not an idiot, so don't get hung up on that bull crap. What we need to do is we need to drive it around town and see how it works. And you're just going to have to take my word for it when I tell you if it's good or not. It's like, I don't know what it's going to be, 60 bucks a bottle. Just frickin' buy it and try it. It's not going to end your life. Spend 60 bucks. People are so mad at me for having a membership program. How dare you? It's like, what do you want me to do? Leave me out of your mad. Probably mad at everything. Although I am pretty mad about people being mad. So, zip it, Chris. I was pretty chill there. I'm getting reamped. As soon as you start talking about Dawn and APC, and I get angry. I just dumped some battery acid on the paint, and it seemed to not hold up so well. So I think product A is better than product B. And I also don't freak out a lot of times, like that first morning that you wake up and, you know, until you do the first wash and really clean the glass well, you'll probably see some residual effects of the glass coating. Just want to do a good wipe down after the first wash in order to satisfy that or clean that up. All right, so I'm gonna do the same process. I already did the rear, so we'll wipe the rear down, add the second coat, wipe the rest of this off. I'll be sure to give you longer term updates, but I'm gonna go grab some lunch, and then we're gonna come back and fill up the reservoir, like I said. I wanna try it. I usually have something in there, but I normally just do distilled water. But it'd be nice to, or deionized water, but it'd be nice to have a solution for those of us that are, those of you that are in colder climates where you need the ability for it to not freeze. I'm feeling real good about this now. Just in time to tear the front end apart and have it torn apart for 2 months while I'm trying to do the intake. Man, this stuff comes off really nicely. I feel like I'm not having to work hard enough for this. That means it's probably not going to do very well. I'd probably like to follow this and wipe it with some glass cleaner just to get the excess. It's looking a little slimy. So there's no issue with time. We let this sit for like 30 minutes while we talked about peeing in the shower next door as our urinal. So we should be fine with. You can leave it on as long as you need to and wipe it off. So don't worry about that. So let's take a little, let me get a fresh towel. Been blowing through a lot of towels on this car. Getting a really good sense for what the next towel package is going to look like. So then we'll just do a little dribble, little pee-pee dribble of glass cleaner. Just enough to get the excess off. Man, it looks so good. This whole car. It's Transformed. Transformed to Mormon spec. It takes a lot of work though. So nice. Just don't get a black light out or a light out on our trim because I'm sure it's already starting to swirl just from touching it. You breathe on that wrong and it goes awry. Hit this again. I coated this with the stuff I used on the paint. I'm kind of hoping the interior elves show up and magically clean my interior so I don't have to do it. There's nothing worse than cleaning an interior. Done. Yes. Wiper blades. New. So, got some distilled water here. 1 gallon. Then we'll go fill up with DI water. There's 1 gallon of this. And then, so what's the math here? So 19 to 1 is the dilution. All right, so we gotta put 200 milliliters, which I don't have a fancy measuring device. So I'm just gonna do my MTM bottle, which has a scale. This looks like antifreeze. Okay, so there's 200. And we're gonna dump this whole gallon, distilled water. DI water's better, but we're gonna do distilled because that's what I got. I need a darn funnel, which I don't have here. So we'll pour half of that in, pour this in. This looks like uranium. It smells like it'll kill you. So I'm not going to fill it up, I'm just going to do a gallon. I'll just do gallons at a time. Yeah, I mean, that'll last me a long time. Although, this is Michelle's car. She may use more than I will. So, the bottle gives you options depending on what your deal is, where you live. So 119 or 19 to 1 for summer use, 9 to 1 for autumn and spring use, 4 to 1 for winter, that's minus 15 degrees, assuming Celsius, 1 to 1 for severe winter, minus 25. So it's going to be good. So if you just put, shoot, you'd have to buy a lot of this stuff to do 1 to 1, wouldn't you?
Use a lot of washer.
Yeah, just use a little bit. I don't know how much this costs. That'd be a question I have to look up. So that's our window process. So I got new wipers, new coated windows, or nice coated windows, some distilled water with, you could use deionized water with Angelwax Clarity, and yeah, I'll give you an update on how this does. So the exterior of the car is officially done. Now it's on to the interior. So I guess I'm gonna work on that now, but that'll be a separate video. Anyway, thanks for watching. Maybe someday I'll take this car outside now that it's all set up. Yeah, anyway, catch you on the next one. I don't know why I can't remember that. I remember model numbers like it's nobody's business and I can't keep it straight.
There's no way it can be worse than the one.
It's worse.
But you have to cut stuff.
Yep. We got special tools. There's a special tool kit. I think it was either 47 or 52 steps.
What's wrong with these people? Can't they make something that just works without chopping? I know.
Well, yeah, then they'd be like everybody else and not make any power and just not do anything.